Hello and welcome to Depth Perception. We discuss movies and dive into how films direct the way that we experience them. We create a perception of sound. Fine then, don't do it. A perception of sight with a dimension of mind. We move into a land of both shadow and substance, of themes and ideas. Joined by the Tin Man.
Yes.
And welcome back, Kmax.
It turns out the West Coast isn't the best coast. It's pretty good, though. It's good to be back.
It's the less coast?
Yes. baby.
Today is the second part of our Happy Mother's Day chapter. I must highlight that this is from our perspective as sons now. So the first episode was our perspectives as a spouse, as a father, and our view of a partner that would be a mother to the household. So this one is, we're kind of rewinding our perspectives a little bit and kind of see moms as a son's point of view. And that's going to be different, obviously, than a daughter's relationship with her mom, which I think is a whole other can of worms and possibly a whole other separate library of movie examples. So movies like Lady Bird, Aliens, Brave, and Encanto. These are movies that have layers that we may not have a lens for. But today's talking points. Hit me with a ding.
Oh, I'll hit you with a ding.
Ding it up.
We will talk about
Awful.
what traits
About his shorts?
we valued from our moms as a son. How did our views on mothers and movies change as we grew up? Favorite on-screen mothers. The evolution of depictions of mothers in movies. And do we relate more to movie moms of the past or the present?
Oh.
So let's get going with the traits that we valued from our moms as a son.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got?
Patience first. If you're me, if you're my brothers, if you're my jackass sisters, patience is the trait that I always enjoyed particularly from my mother. The patience of Job. That's one. I got a lot, but I'll go with patience first.
Patience? Okay.
That's good. What was the question again?
Oh my goodness. Mr. Google over here.
I know I'm
Typing away.
Doing notes, last minute notes.
It was...
What qualities do I
Value
value the most
from our moms growing
from
up.
our moms growing up?
It's like you're learning verses at one.
I was like, patience. Kmax like, patience.
Like traits we.
Probably humor.
Yes, I have that also.
We'll go with that.
Interesting.
Humor. There's
Interesting
always a,
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think of your mom probably one of the most masterful of humor.
Like her having to joust with my dad in the humor department. That's up there. Because I feel like she was at her wit's end a lot with us. So whenever there was a break in the insanity, humor was always the first to shine, I guess.
Okay.
I'll say that.
You want to throw it in there and we'll keep rotating around?
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I've got trust.
Oh, my.
So I feel like trust... I think that comes to mind first because I can recall the times that, say, I wasn't trusted and I felt hurt by that. You know, like not trusted to stay out of trouble, not trusted to make the right choices. So as you get older, that sense of trust made you feel empowered, I guess.
I see.
Made you feel a little bit more independent.
I have protector. We sometimes see this as the dad. The dad's a protector. Nope, not in my house. He certainly is. But there was a lot more safety with Mama Hen around. You know. Just,
Oh yeah.
You just Dad might protect me from the grizzly bear, the boogeyman, and the drunkard, but Mom's going to protect me from everything else that really mattered and scared me. You know, someone's going to come at their kid. Someone's going to, accuse the kid of this or that. The police even, anybody like that. Then Mom's going to say, you got to go through me. You got to, and so protection is one that I thought with a value that my mom had as we were growing up.
I'm going to go with faith.
Oh, heck yeah.
My mom was the one who took us to church when we were younger. And she had a falling out with some of the members from her work life. And then it crossed over into the church life, and so we stopped going. But she was always very diligent at reading, and then she was watching her shows. But she's the first person that I started to cross ideas with, kind of joust with a little bit. That person who, I kind of think like this about the Bible, and she, this and this. Like, she would have other ideas outside of my little scope at the time of being at that age. So I'd add that one in there, faith.
It's huge.
That's a huge one.
Shame on me for not having it sooner. Sorry, Mom.
I'm going to go with understanding. So even, I guess, kind of piggybacking, even if my thoughts are different or my beliefs are different or my priorities and what I value are different, there was understanding that, it's okay to be a little bit different in that sense. As long as your core self is how we raised you, I don't care if your passion is this, here's how I can support that. Here's a new camera to try and...
Yeah, there's probably nobody in your family who's watching the movies you're watching.
Right. I watched a lot of movies alone.
It's this crazy, scary, artsy movie, and his whole family's like, I don't know, it's a Corey movie.
Seen it, he owns it. I had an encourager. Like, just when you screw up, should be the first one to whoop you, but then also encourage you. Listen, here's why you got to not do that. Here's why you have to do right. Here's why you encouraged us to do well. Encouraged us to try stuff. Oh, go ahead and try it. Go dance. Don't be afraid. Who cares what anybody thinks? Encouraged us to make us believe we could be more than what we've seen. People always talk about, minorities need to see representation. You need representation. Kids need to see other people do it. Man, my mom was like, no, go be that. Encouraged us to try it. You can. What's the worst that happens? You fail. Okay, try again. Encouraging.
Nice. I'm shooting from the hip on all these, so I'm running out of...
I like it.
It's like, I actually only valued 3 things from my mom.
Yeah, she did very
I'll
good.
I'll take humor and faith, though.
Yeah, I mean, those are up there. I want to say patience, but I don't want to use that one. But she was a teacher having to deal with young students, and then having to come home to 3 boys who were very energetic, very crazy. So she was at her wit's end a lot with us. So being able to cook food or clean the house or wash clothes on top of picking up after us and then having to deal with us on all those letters.
I guess you could say like that stable force at home.
That's true.
Then.
We could say that then. So it's some stability.
There you
go. Stick-to-itiveness. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but there's a rock to it. There's a structure, a steady structure, some infrastructure. I guess this family infrastructure support.
I've got leading by example. So it's being able to not just tell you what's right, what's wrong, how you should do things, but showing you how to do it and showing the dividends of acting a certain way, carrying yourself a certain way, participating a certain way, giving a certain way. So kind of, not just saying you should go to church, you should do this, but actually being there, showing you how to do it.
That's good. I think it's a huge one.
Nice.
Because that's the authenticity that people look for and kids look for. Like, let me see if you're full of it or not. Then if I see you doing it, I'm like, oh yeah,
I should add in there like career. So showing like here's what hard work looks like. Here's what building a home, not just a house but a home. This is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think there's many more, right? I think we're all blessed with pretty solid moms. The number one thing besides faith is sacrifice. My mom was always, she grew up with very little, and so always wanted us to have a little bit more than very little. You know what I mean? Want us to have more, and it's not Father's Day, but like the two of them sacrificed everything, like for us. They worked their way up and just so that we could have stuff, and to this day, I don't have much, but earned a ton. If they were nearly as selfish as I am, they'd be rolling in it and not have any financial worries their whole life. But we wouldn't have the opportunities we've had. Us 8 kids, 8 of us.
Yeah.
Everybody had an opportunity for a career, for a trade, for college. Everybody had an opportunity for it. Everybody had cars, maybe not brand new, but cars and homes and things, and they took every bit of, and it didn't stop with us 8 kids. There's got to be another 24 people on the reservation who benefited from that same sacrifice, from them just saying, of course, yes, very much like your grandmother.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd just give and give and give to hurts to almost a point where it's like they retired into poverty. And it's like, what are you doing? But it's just how they're wired to sacrifice. And I want to see you guys all do good. All of you guys do good. And it's I think that's like the coolest legacy that my mom has, is like that ability to sacrifice. And it's cool as a son to see that and be able to say, it's nice to have this forum to say that about our moms. These nice things.
Nice. That's good.
You got any others, Tin Man? I got a pretty big glaring one.
Well, go ahead then.
Are you sure? I'm going to say unconditional love. Probably the biggest one that we.
I just had a love on mine, and I'm like, but unconditional love.
Yeah. So knowing that no matter what you do, you still have someone to turn to. They may hold you accountable for what you're doing, but they're there for you.
Yeah. I don't know if anything would forfeit my mom's love. And gosh, I've tried. Some of my siblings have tried harder, but we've all taken our runs at it. Yeah, it's good. I think it's a good list.
Okay. I think that's a good, strong set of pillars that we have, I think.
That's good.
That's the first dud of the night.
First one.
Hey, redo
Not
it.
bad, though. We've done pretty good. All right, one more.
Solid.
Well, because I'm going to start to edit out. Because as I'm editing, it's like every ding is like, good one. like I'm trying to cut that out. It's just ding and keep moving.
Can't help myself. I like a good ding.
Yeah. Solid.
And I do.
Great ding. A good one. It's a great one.
All right, let's ask ourselves, how did our views on mothers and movies change as we grew up? So I guess this kind of starts, if we recall how we viewed mothers as kids, like watching movies, like was the mother like the big the big stick in the mud, or like did we take note of, oh, that mother's actually pretty cool? Like how did we? Do you remember? Like, so I guess this would be like more kids movies, like noticing the mother character in these stories.
Yeah.
Do we recall any of those or no?
Well, being a little bit older than you guys, it's just the sign of the times. The moms were portrayed very often in movies, a little bit more old fashioned back in the 70s and 80s. Not all the time, but more often, I think. When the idea of supporting the idea of being a stay-at-home mom became a swear word and something that gets you canceled, like the kicker from the Chiefs, who spoke at the thing.
Yeah.
He was not ever saying, I listened to the whole thing. Not once did he say, this is where women belong.
Right.
This is where they should be. He was encouraging those who choose to be that you're doing a noble job, you're doing an important job. To listen to that whole speech and to hear people outraged by it, to me, was like baffling. Because at no point was he saying, drop out of college, the best you can do is be. But he's encouraging those who have chosen that you are doing an important job. And anyone who thinks otherwise, how disrespectful to your mother are you being?
Right.
I mean, I hate to get on that tangent there, but it's like, man, most of the movies that I can remember, they were kind of kids time movies, and you've seen the mom as a little old fashioned, Mm-hmm. I won't go into specifics because I want to save my list. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I'll bring up some because what we did in the first part of this chapter is I kind of highlighted a lot of Disney examples.
Oh, I see.
Because there happened to be a lot of like single parents in those movies, and that played heavily into our views from a spouse point of view.
See.
And it kind of trickles into, these are a lot of the Disney movies are for kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have these perspectives. So when we're young watching these movies, it's easy to slip into, okay, here's our point of view as a son.
Oh, I see.
So like movies like Dumbo, when I would watch it as a kid, there wasn't really any attention, at least from what I remember, there wasn't much attention paid to the mom in that movie.
Mm.
And it was more, I didn't fully appreciate that movie as a kid because I didn't have that lens for that connection between Dumbo and Mrs. Jumbo.
Yeah.
So then growing up, though, and watching it again and seeing her sacrifice, her dedication, her fierceness in protecting her child became a new lens watching that movie. And it was certainly emotional watching. I think we highlighted the part where she's locked up from protecting her from Dumbo getting ridiculed and all that.
The stampede-ish thing she had done, or rampaging.
Yeah.
A little bit. She throws all the workers around and stuff.
So when she reaches with her trunk, you remember that Kmax where she grabs Dumbo and kind of rocks him to sleep even though she's locked up. So like you see how much love Mrs. Jumbo has, and I feel like that, even though like you see it as a kid, but I feel like you don't, or at least I didn't like feel it though. You didn't feel the weight from that mom's point of view. Like she just tried to protect him, and she's even from that position, she's still trying to, rock him to sleep for the night.
Aw, that scene always makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. And I would throw Fox and the Hound in here too, because growing up, you just see the old lady that kind of adopts Todd and kind of takes care of him until he's ready to leave the home, and she releases him back into the wild. And I remember that being sad, but not really connecting how much of a mother she was to Todd, the fox. And, rewatching and seeing kind of the same level that you see Mrs. Jumbo, like giving of herself to protect Todd, to raise him, and being able to let go when it's time also. And the sacrifice it took on her behalf to say, no, that's it. Like I have to leave you here. And that's your, it's time to let you be you. And obviously she's a human and he's a fox, but that connection that the two of them had was certainly motherly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you guys remember seeing those movies and how you felt? Like,
well, I didn't remember the transaction until you recalled it just now. You know what I mean? Like when it changed to be able to notice those things. I was trying to think of it when I read that question originally of different moms, like how I viewed them differently. And it's funny, the one that came to mind is Kevin's mom in Home Alone.
Oh yeah,
how it was just slapstick and zany and all this, and then as I got older, I'm like, I get, and again, I guess it disproportionately shows my rage and how I let the dad off the hook, that jackass,
right.
And I'm pissed at mom saying, "You're the last line of defense, though, dude. You're the one that needs to protect these kids. The dad's a buffoon, and the rest of the family's a mess." But mom, you got to hold it together. And it's funny because that's what kept coming into my head was like the moms, even the mom in like Vacation. I thought that she was really good at trying to like be the sane one, as her husband's just like bat poop crazy. Like Chevy Chase's character is like way out there, and she had to kind of hold it together and tell the kids don't panic, and make sure no one got crazy when he was doing all his antics. So like as I get a little bit older, I had so much more respect for Mrs. Griswold. In the movies, and like, look at her holding it down. Look at her, the things that are happening. She's like, "Okay, kids, just keep looking ahead, or your dad's gonna go for a walk now, or your dad's gonna go away for a little while."
Yeah.
And then like I look at Kevin's mom. I'm like, I'm a little bit more judgy with her than I was like just laughing and joking. The first time through, and I guess I thought of it more on that way.
Yeah, I think certainly we gain perspective of how hard the mom works behind the scenes in a lot of the movies like that. Where front and center, it's the dad and the kids, and then the mom kind of the glue that's holding everything together. That as a kid you don't really take notice of it, but I feel like if we watch movies now, we're definitely aware of how much the mom is working behind the scenes to make sure everyone is kept sane or put together still.
Yeah, I see us like a lot of times they'll talk about dads like nowadays or like men's health, and I think it's important that men they'll say I'm fine when they're not fine, just because I just got to put my head down and get through it. But women have been doing that, and I'm not trying to be like Mr. Virtue Signal here, but they've been doing that a long time too. Like I always think of my mom as under the water as a kid. Sometimes we'd see the legs kicking, but on top it's Grace. It's the duck just kind of. The little baby ducks coming around following her, but if you were to see under there, you see how she's busting her ass to set leadership and set standards and to feed the kids, make that hamburger gravy or make that big bowl of chili out of one packet and half a pound of meat. And how do I fill this up to feed these animals? It's super admirable. You see it in movies. When you see it, you're like, oh, look at that. The movie about a boy. The mom is a hot mess, artsy fartsy, and the kid ends up going with Hugh Grant because he's stable and he's there, and the kid's drawn to that. Meanwhile, mom is just doing her best to keep it together. When I first watched that movie, I was probably a teenager, maybe low 20s, and I'm like, look at she's filmmakers making it so that she's flaky and whatever. But now that when I watch it, I have nothing but admiration for that poor lady. Just trying to keep it together and raise her son best she can. She's got to work. She's got a million things to do. And anyway, I could name moms now that if I saw them younger, I would look at them a little bit more judgy and a little more shallow. Now I'd look at it more as just saying, hey, your experience dictates that you have to do it. Almost sympathy for the devil in the Florida Project, too. I'm like, listen, lady, I don't like what you're doing. I think you suck at it. But I don't know what's got you to this point right now, and your kids are still alive. That might be a low denominator.
That's low. The standard's pretty low. But
yeah.
But it seems to be her reason for doing a good chunk of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's weird how it changes.
She can keep it together when when it's just her and the daughter.
Right, when there isn't all the pressures of real world crashing in on them. She's attentive. She wants to do things with her daughter. She wants to experience things with her. But
whether it means stealing someone's wristbands to have breakfast or hey, I got to have this guy over, go play in the tub.
Yeah.
But it'll be us. We'll take care of, we'll do stuff after that,
So one of the things that I thought had changed for me was that I started to pay attention to how the child in a given story, whether they appreciate their mother or whether they neglect the everything, like don't pay attention to everything the mom is doing. So whether or not the child can appreciate everything the mom does for him, because now I can see what the mother in these stories is doing.
I want to give you an example, but I want to save it. But I'll give it to you if you want.
Well, just mention it, but I won't go into it.
Okay. Jojo Rabbit.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I won't go into it, but it's that sense where the kid is ignorant as to everything the mom's doing.
Right.
But then you also see other movies where the kid is very aware that the mom is their world.
Yeah.
You know. So that's something I've been paying attention to. I feel like as I get older, making sure that the kid, going back to last episode, as a spouse and a father, making sure the kid is aware, like, hey, you make sure you listen to mom. You love mom because that's the backbone of the family. You make sure that you respect her. So then, seeing a movie now that has families, you're like looking at the kid like, oh, you better be thankful for everything your mom's doing. And then if they're not, like, what is wrong there? Is the mom not there enough? Is the kid just ignorant to everything? So, like,
I never thought to do that until she did it for me. Mm-hmm. She was like, hey, you'll thank your dad. You see what he's doing right now for the family or whatnot. He made sure that you had all your clothes ready for this and that. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize she was doing that. So I started doing it back only because she mentioned it first. And I was like, oh, well, if mom's freaking out, it's probably because she's putting in all this effort here, and you're giving no respect, no thank you, no anything, So we tried to do it back and forth for both the kids, but I didn't notice it until she did it first.
I guess Home Alone would work for this sentiment that I'm trying to get across, where for Kevin, he's just downright telling his mom off in the beginning. Yeah. And then he starts to realize how much she actually did for him and how much he actually loves her. Yep. So by the end of the movie, she arrives and, it's a big happy moment. So I feel like watching that movie younger, it was like, okay, here's some zany, funny things that happen.
Yeah, like it almost the emotional part went over your head.
Yeah.
Because I remember having no feelings towards those moments whatsoever. I just want to see the traps, set up for the bad guys to get caught in or whatever.
Right. And it's like, oh, great, another scene with mom.
Yeah. It's like, can we fast forward this part?
Right.
I think even like it's funny how about the mom in E.T. Mm-hmm. It was I think now like of that mom, we'd look at her maybe a little bit different now than we would back in the 80s or 90s. Mm-hmm. Maybe not an indictment, but like I don't know. Maybe I think when people write, you can't. When you're writing something, you can't help but be affected by society, how it's changed around you. Mm-hmm. Even if you are like a writer who might wax nostalgic and prefer to write old-fashioned style, mm-hmm. you're going to be affected by society. You can't help it, and I think that's one of my. If I have to have a little bit of a problem with Hollywood sometimes, it's that they get caught up sometimes in. I don't like the term virtue signaling because I like virtue. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of people doing right and encouraging others and saying good things about other people and not being nasty. So when I hear virtue signaling, I hear like, oh, you're just trying to say things so people think you're a good person or you want to signal it. Well, how about I'm trying to say good things I'm trying to be a good person, instead of just saying them so that I send this positive signal out there. So it's a hard thing to say, but I can't help but think that in movies now, filmmakers go almost too far to paint characters very complex that maybe don't have to be sometimes. And that might sound chauvinistic now. Let's edit that. No, I'm just kidding. but like I don't know. I said there's enough equity in anybody who knows me to know that, it takes all kinds of people. It takes all kinds of dads and all kinds of moms. And you just do the best you can with what you have.
Do you mean to say that like some of the characters that they don't for moms that have extra added baggage and whatnot to the character to make them complex?
Yeah, it's almost like they do it just to do it.
Right.
It's not adding to the
mom
movie.
Being mom.
Yeah,
could be a solid character in and of itself.
And honestly, to me, I think some people take this argument and try to run in different directions with it. I'm making this argument just in support of moms, that like being a good mom is superhero enough.
Like the stronger you are as mom, it looks like there's less complexity behind
you see less of the duck.
You don't see
the legs underwater.
She's not drowning in her role. She's succeeding, but it is work, and it looks like she's doing it easily, not realizing how much work is actually behind it. So
I always think it's hilarious that they make these Mother's Day cards to celebrate all the things we love about our moms. And the minute we articulate it as men, it's like, oh, so you think that's what mom's good for? I'm like, no, I'm telling you what I'm thankful for my mom being here. You know what I mean? It's I almost feel weird saying it because our listeners might take it the wrong way. But what did your last Mother's Day card say on it that you bought for your mom?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, okay, here's a mirror.
That's it. That's exactly it, man. I'm like, so everybody just ease up a bit if it sounds like I'm trying to pigeonhole a woman into being a certain way. No, it takes all kinds. And anybody listening to it, you don't have to look far to see great examples of all kinds of moms out there. You know, traditional moms, complex moms. It's a hard gig to do it well.
Yeah.
And, but again, you buy a card. What does it say on there? Thanks for being this. Thanks for being that.
Mm-hmm. One of the things from the first season is, we started off, we watched Florida Project, we watched E.T., and we kind of criticized the mother figures in those movies. But I think it's our continuation as sons that we build this lens of how the mom acts towards these kids, how they provide. And I think it's not in a negative way. It's being able to communicate and listen, being able to have praises and perhaps criticisms in a civil and loving way, being able to communicate those things, in our lives, would be able to communicate our own needs, communicate what we like from our mothers, what we value from them. Because I think as kids, we maybe we buy a card we don't really understand. Maybe we have our parents buy the card for us and then we just sign our name. We don't really have the way that communication to tell our moms, like, hey, I know it was tough. I know you sacrificed this, and that. I know you behind the scenes being able to provide for us and give us the opportunities. So I think us being able to pick up on these mothers in those movies is kind of a continuation of that lens as a son, and seeing, okay, that mother is working hard, or that mother could do more, because you can see how much this child is struggling. So I think hopefully that's where those criticisms are coming from. You know what I mean? They weren't from a place of just trying to talk down about those mothers depicted, in Florida Project or E.T. or whatever other movie. I think it was more us holding standards of what we know mothers could be in the house, I guess, or in the home, or in someone's life. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about our favorite on-screen mothers.
I got 3, and I know one will definitely be yours, Vaz. She must be saved for thou, my friend.
Me?
Yes, you. And I think Tin Man knows which one will be Vaz's choice.
Oh.
So let's play a game here. What's Vosley's choice? Okay, here we go. On 3, let's say it. You and me.
I don't know what it is.
You and me are going to play this.
No clue.
Think of his films. Think of the things that resonate with him. Think of... Now, we might be wrong. So, we're playing a game show here where the host doesn't know the answer, and I'm the host.
Okay.
So we're going to both say it at the same time.
The name of the movie?
The name of the mom.
I don't know her name.
Okay.
We definitely don't have the same movie, but let's go. Let's do it.
But I think I'm. Let's do it this way instead. How about this? I'm just going to avoid saying the name because I know it's going to come up, and if it doesn't, I will be super surprised.
Oh, okay.
That'll be the prize.
All
I'll
right.
be super surprised.
Wait, so you're going to say the name of the mom or the name of the movie?
I'll say the name of the mom, and if this isn't your number one example, I will be surprised.
Okay.
All right.
Number one example.
I think this is number one, and I think it's not only your number one, but I think it's your number one with a bullet.
Ooh.
Elastigirl. Not that one.
That
the one
was
from The Incredibles.
That was our we had a similar game the first chapter.
Oh, really?
Or the first part of the chapter where it was who our ideal partner would be
Oh, no.
in parenting. And that one was the last year
Amen to
for
that.
several reasons.
I'm on board.
But I could very much be on board with this one as
Sure.
from a son's point of view as
Yeah,
well.
I think from a son's point of view, all the characteristics she has, I was just like, she's cool. She loves her jackass husband.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Well, like, I thought
it's like
the-
as a kid, if they love your dad, that's a nice thing
that
to see.
like the lead by example thing, being able to see the love between your parents is super important, I feel.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
like I think the most, I don't know, respected quality, I guess, is that she went from being a superhero to being like, hey, we have to knock this off to be a family. And she literally gave that all up.
Yeah.
She's like holding the family together while the husband's like at a dead end insurance job and can't stand, like he's barely there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's being a superhero for the family right now
Yeah.
and happily doing it.
Yeah.
Trying to, hey, intervene. We need you, Father. You got to be in too. Okay, well, look at, we almost got all the boxes packed. She's taking care of
Yeah.
everything at the house, raising the kids, cooking the food. Dad's like, ugh, I can't stand my life. And then I'm going to go be a superhero.
Yeah.
And you're like, and you're going to uproot our whole family after we've finally settled in for your vanity? You're like,
Yeah.
Like she was willing to give it all up to do the job here.
That's it.
He couldn't let go of it, and he's looking for that.
That's the coolness of that movie, man. Which you guys probably already had this conversation, but sorry, I was out west.
From a different lens.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, not the same. Yeah,
But
not
I
this
love
one.
this lens, though, in that I admire her so much. And she's probably more of a superhero for doing that,
Are
right?
we going into this movie like
I will zip it at this
Slightly.
point.
only
man.
because we might be doing this?
Yeah, that's
next-
cool.
No,
Our
that's
next
fine.
pod.
We can keep.
Sorry to dance a
Oh,
little
you're
bit,
right.
though.
You're right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Delete it. Nah.
Yeah, that's fine. Which is fine. I mean, he can pick and choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll put a thing in here.
Sure. So then,
Yeah, we won't go like too in depth with this
Right.
movie because it is one of the movies
Yeah,
we'll
cool,
watch.
cool.
But
But along these lines is what we'll dig into.
yeah,
I think so.
yeah. What I I mentioned about seeing whether or not the kids appreciate or can pick up all the sacrifice that mom's doing. I think that movie's one of them where she's doing all this stuff and the kids are like, "Oh, I've got school, I've got this, I got track." There's no attention paid to like, well, how much his mother, like, let me see the respect that you have for your mom and everything that she's doing for you. So from our point of view, catching, well, at least I feel like I noticed that quite a bit in that movie where it's seamless. The kids are so well supported by her that there is no lack of there's no feeling that they need more out of her, I guess.
right.
She also jumps from like, "What are you doing here?" and explodes a plane. She's like, "Okay, use your powers. Now we need to do this."
Yes.
And they're like, the kids are falling apart. Oh, I don't know. We're not
Yeah,
going to survive.
yeah.
She's like, "Shut up!" Splashes them in the face. Here's what we do.
Yeah.
And it's like, mom knows how to. No. This is how we attack. This is how we fight. This is how we hide. This is how we do stuff on the superhero level.
Yeah.
Now I'm in this mode. Here's how I
right.
teach you. And
Yeah,
it's kind of
honest to
neat that she
goodness.
just switches gears into
I'm
that.
thankful we have like examples of people like that around us that we can see people that can switch like that and say, "This is what's needed right now for
Yeah.
my kids. Here it goes." And you're like, you just stand back and watch it, saying, "Nice job."
Yeah.
Tin Man, who do you have for a?
So I mentioned it earlier. My first one I got is I have her name listed because Rosie Betzler from Jojo Rabbit.
Oh,
If anyone's seen Jojo Rabbit, it's in my top 50. It's in one of my top favorite movies of all time. That's a mom who's smart, kind, witty, trying to raise a son by herself. I'm assuming dad's at war. They mention the dad in the movie, but is in the meantime is hiding Jewish girl in her house, while still trying to give her son values, morals. He goes off to Nazi camp, but she tries to like keep him understanding. And I don't know, spoiler alert, gives her life for what she's trying to do. The son doesn't realize all the effort she's putting in. He's a little bit oblivious, a little bit sheltered to where
that
he's
same ignorance
ignorant of all what
so
she's
well
doing.
supported by her, so paid attention to by her that he can't see like everything that she's given up, everything she's fighting for on the outside.
Right. And that after her death, and and he continues on. You can kind of see that how much he misses of his mom, like how much that a role that she played in his life was very
right. That void after,
and she played a very loving, caring character who was like still witty, still funny. All the stuff she like after her son gets injured, she slaps the guy in the face and just like, nope, you're going to take care of him. like, nope, you did this to his face. You ruined his face. I'm cursed with being so beautiful, and you got that. You know, like she says the silly lines about like to him the whole time, where she has like a wise silliness to her that blah 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 blah, and then just kind of goes about her day, which is still kind of undermining the Nazi regime she's living under, at the same time hiding a Jewish child in the house at the same time. So it's a lot for that character, and I think that's like it's a peak mom.
That's cool.
That's what I think. That's my first one. So
okay. I got a surprising one here.
Okay.
It's coming out of left field.
No way.
Yes way.
Okay, let's hear it.
The mom from Independence Day.
The
stripper.
president? Oh.
Okay.
From the son's point of view, remember.
Yes. Oh, Will Smith's. I think they're just together, right?
Right.
Because he has a ring.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't proposed to her yet.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, this is an engagement ring.
Yeah. Because is it Harry Connick Jr.? Is that who it is? He finds the ring. He's
Certainly
kneeling
looks like
down,
him.
and the guy thinks he's proposing
Yeah.
to him. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, from the kid's point of view, you know, just that moment, the apocalypse is coming over, and just her dedication to keep him safe.
It's not Vivica A. Fox, right?
I think it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so her dedication to keep him alive, to keep the family intact by Rover, you know, getting the dog safe even, and being able to act with certainty and confidence to keep them safe. And then even as the world is being destroyed, she takes charge and is like leading. She's driving that big truck and picking up survivors. So she's showing like the leading by example of like, okay, now we're still going to be good people even in the face of this apocalypse, and you know, gather the people together and try to find safety for not just me and my child, but everyone here.
Yeah.
So you know, again, from the kid's point of view, like seeing your mom be able to do that.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a good one.
Really
You were not wrong. That was out of left field.
You know, from anyone else's point of view, it might be. How does his buddy word it? Like you cannot. Like,
You're
stripper
marry
or
a
something
stripper.
like that.
Yeah.
He's in love with a stripper. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's my surprise one.
Okay, I'm going to go with my second one, Meg Altman from Panic Room.
Ooh.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
That's
right,
her.
Yeah.
Cunning, smart mama bear. That's always something that I've always I admire very much, is someone who is like, you see their fierce colors when their children are threatened, even a little bit. When you see that, it's like, all right, okay. Gonna give you tons of points for that. You might be 1 billion flaws, but when I see that, I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's good stuff there. Another thing that I think that she had, she was smart, like super smart, like she you know, read the blueprints, was able to see where this was and how she could attack the intruders, how she could take offensive toward them. And also, I thought there was a scene in there that was cool that shows that something that I thought was real admirable too was when the daughter was saying that Daddy should be here. He should be here to take care. He should be, and was saying like nasty things about the dad. And she said, "Don't speak that way about your father." And it'd be so easy. Would have been so easy to just
Jump on
him and just I know he should be, but that's how he is. Yeah. None of that. So it showed like an integrity there too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Don't talk that way about you. And that's like a higher level thing, I think, to be able to be like amicable. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't
Yep,
work out,
yep.
but you don't got to be a jerk. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing. So, there's like heroic. I think Jodie Foster plays like a really cool. She's very vulnerable in that too. Mm. So I think it's cool that you have a character that's written as this tough badass bit, but also you see that she's terrified in those moments. But I think that you see her true courage because even though she's so scared, she still is thinking on her feet. She's still protecting her kiddo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 2.
All right.
Yep.
That was unexpected too.
I like it.
This one's probably expected.
The mom from Tremors.
I'll go with that one first. Sarah Connor.
There you go.
Yeah. Very flawed. Held in a psychiatric ward. Trained her son to prepare for the apocalypse, for the end of the world, for Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. Gets locked up for attacking, was it a computer program or whatever? She tried to blow up
a bank or something?
Something like that, yeah. And got locked up in the Pescadero Insane Asylum or whatever it's called. And breaks out at the same time getting rescued. And happens to run into a Terminator at the same time. But her relationship with her son is strained and dangerous. Like she's already like a cat getting thrown into a bucket of water, and is constantly like training for war. And the relationship she has with her son is like, well, I have to teach you to get to this point. You have to be this general, this leader. And he's like, I'm just a kid, I don't know how to do this. And she has to kind of adapt to that to get to the point where he can understand what she's trying to get across to him. Very flawed, very rough, difficult human being to work with. At one point just is like, screw this, I'm leaving, and goes off to go kill this guy and his whole family. And then they have to stop her because there's another way to do it. We can still solve this without killing his whole family. But she was willing to do that,
He's gonna Thanos him.
Yeah.
What I think James Cameron does like a crazy job at recontextualizing the first movie in both Alien and Terminator, because you could break down thematically what Alien means, you could break down thematically Terminator, but then he recontextualizes the same tools from those movies and makes a brand new theme. So like Terminator 2, to me, the way I see it is a lot about a broken family and the single mom trying to make it. Because you can throw in all the sci-fi bits and the Terminator and all that, but at its core, it's a single mom trying to prepare her son for life.
Yeah.
And doing so through the only lens that she has, which is this rough military, the end of the world's coming, you're going to save it. Like, that's the lens that she has. And it's only warmed up when the Terminator, who could be seen as like a stepfather, comes into their lives and starts to teach them, here's how you connect to people on a human level. He's like, give me 5 and teaching him to smile and everything, teaching the Terminator to smile. So the humane part only arises when there's two parents, quote parents, teaching the son from a balanced.
And they even had a moment where she's watching him play with him.
Oh,
like doing little, like he's working on the car and he's doing the high fives things where he's making him miss. He's like, down low, too slow, and he's kind of like, like indignant look on a Terminator's face for missing the high five or low five, and she even mentions that like this is the father, this is what he needed in his life was this machine, and so having that moment in that movie kind of gives that little more context.
It's like
for
the
what you're trying to
stamp
say.
of like, this is the theme,
Yes.
So
cool choice.
Yeah,
but that was so that was that one. So, and then in the end, she connects more with her son after having to go through all of that. And
that's a cool one.
But you compare the same tools that were used in the first movie.
Yeah.
It's like completely different context and theme, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's cool when someone picks a character or a person or a movie that never even crossed my mind, and that's one. And I'm thinking that was such a good one. As far as a mom, it was like this badass.
Yeah.
Time traveling hero.
It's a rough one too, because mom's like mad at him for showing up. Why'd you even come here?
Yeah.
You're gonna get killed. Like, stop it. Like, you are more important than his feelings, this emotion, this relationship.
Yeah.
And in the end, realizing that there is more to
Like,
it.
the
than
strength
needing
to
have
it
that.
is that emotion.
Yeah,
and
and
relationship.
it creates it even better. Yeah.
So good.
Because of this, you can be the general or whatever you need to be later on.
Heck yeah.
So I'm going to pick one before anyone else takes it. The mom from A Christmas Story.
Hey.
Ralphie's mom.
Lisa? No. Sorry.
But she holds the house together. She holds the kids responsible. She holds them accountable for their actions. But there's also the tender side where, you know, Ralphie gets in the fight and he comes home and his brother Randy is like scared the dad's gonna kill him or whatever. And she is able to, you know, flip the switch a little bit and parent from more of a loving, unconditionally aspect of it, and being able to soften the blow when, you know, she tells his dad like what happened, you know, and the dad's able to not react in the way that everyone was expecting because she has such a control over things in the house. And so just how well and how much she can cater her parenting to each child. So like Randy at the table wouldn't eat, and then she, you know, acts like the pig or whatever. How does a pig eat? And, you know, he's finally eating. So from a kid's point of view, being able to have a mom that understands you well enough to parent you accordingly, I guess.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah.
And then also having that guardianship to protect you from like big scary dad that's coming home to whip you if you're in trouble. So I feel like it her character encapsulates all the points that we made at the start of the episode.
It's a good mom. I got one more. And my favorite.
Okay.
And it's funny when as Tin Man was coming up with one, he was like thinking, he's like, nah, this one's a little bit, you know, I'm like, I'm coming over to this table. I know I'll get thrown right back, but I'm coming over to this table. Molly Weasley.
Yes.
Nice.
Just my favorite. She's tough. She's loving. She pretty much adopts Harry. Yeah, just, of course, makes him a sweater, you know. Just, you know, pretty much, you know, that scene with Bellatrix. You know what I mean? Just kind of that final scene was like the culminating moment, and I'm like, I love this woman. She's just like the perfect mom. Yeah.
In the wizarding world.
Right, and also like
battles out.
And yet she was so like the glue of that whole family. When she took them to get their books, all the kids to get their books, she's making sure Harry's got his
There's
book.
butterbeer opening over there.
Yeah,
It got louder trying to hide it under the table.
yeah. So I think that that's the first one when I saw that question come across. I'm like, oh, Mrs. Weasley, there it is. You know,
Nice. That's a good one.
I really like her.
And that friendly but stern governing, I guess, of the house.
Yeah. The kids all knew that she loved them. The kids, there was no doubt about it.
And she treated like all the friends as family too.
Yeah.
And sometimes even better than family.
Oh, I know, right? I love that she.
Doesn't everyone else's mom do that though?
Right, I know.
My friends, I'm like, why is she smiling? Like, she's just yelling at me in the corner a second ago.
Yelled at, looking cross at me, and everybody's good now. That's why I'd always try to keep my friends over all the time.
Keep them close like a
Like,
shield.
hey, Eddie's gonna scare Ed again. Okay, I'm like, Eddie, you have to stay. No, I'm going home. No, you're not. About to get whooped. But yeah, Mrs. Weasley, man.
All right.
What do you got?
Okay, one last one. I got one last one.
I think I got two more.
Mrs. Gump. Forrest Gump's
yeah.
mom. Sally Field from Forrest Gump.
Boy, your mom really does care about your education, son.
Yeah, she does. I didn't want to make the noise Forrest makes, but that's a good one.
As soon as you said that, I was like, okay, here it comes.
Oh, man. Well, she's willing to do whatever, take care of her boy.
And she did
Yeah.
it. And she showed her love, like, you know what I mean, in all kind of ways for him.
Mm-hmm.
Young and old.
Yeah, young and old. Knowing that he's a little special, you know. Doing what she can to take care of him. And I remember seeing her play through that. Like, I never thought that she wasn't doing what she could do for him throughout that movie. That's what I always thought.
Yeah, she was maxing it out for him. and helping him to look past his limitations. I mean, a good mom, they make $1 out of a dime. You know,
That's a good way to say it.
I mean, all the time. They just do it like it's normal. I've said in many episodes in the past, Christmas magic, the tooth fairy, these are things that, and not just moms, but dads too. I think we all do some of this stuff. That's what's cool. Talk about like gender roles and stuff like that. We love doing some of those things that I think that maybe were traditionally mom things, like making these things special, and tooth fairy stuff, and then Christmas and the Easter bunny. Like, we like that nonsense. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Frosting the cookies together and stuff like that, man. And
well, she does all the baking, and I help frost.
yes.
But that's like the one thing I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think there's a few different people I've heard that were like, oh, we have to go to their house.
Oh, yeah.
We have to go for those
Well,
cookies.
I'm definitely one of them that says it. I say it every year. But like, I think of like moms that way of that are able to bring that magic for their kids. The more it almost saddens me that, boo, there is none of these things. But then I'm like, oh, out of the ashes comes the real hero, the moms that made these things special for us, hid the baskets and made it a big deal for adults to go hunting for Easter eggs on Easter. When they stop doing it, you're like, that's the empty seat at the table. That's got to be hard. You know what I mean? I'm thankful to the good Lord we all have our moms. You know what I mean? But someone described it as, you're in a crowd and you're in a big crowd and you're holding your mom's hand. And an older friend of mine, he was my former guidance counselor. He said it's like, as I asked him how he felt he was doing, he goes, here's what it felt like. Here's what it feels like. And he was in his 70s and he had lost his mother, who was close to 100. And he said, it's like I'm at the state fair and I'm holding her hand and all of a sudden it's let go and I don't know where she is. And I'm in a panic. And it's just strangers. The world is just strangers right now. He's like, I'm 71 years old and that's exactly how I feel, And I've heard it described that way by some people. Like the world doesn't make sense anymore. Yeah. My true north is gone, and I'm like, man, that's what a blessing that moms can be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow, nice.
So I changed my mind. I got 3 more.
Well,
yes.
I'm out, so you're gonna.
I'm out too. Let's go.
Send it.
All right, so I got 3, and so speaking of James Cameron recontextualizing franchises, I'm going to go with Ripley and Aliens.
Oh, I like that too. Got it.
So not
I did see that one, but I
not
wasn't
actual mother, but
right.
becomes
Like
a mother
the
figure.
little girl?
character.
To Newt. Yeah,
Newt, yeah.
Newt is the kid that's the only survivor of this colony.
The sole survivor.
And she takes a liking to Newt,
Orphan.
and there's hints of her wanting to be a mother before, she has the nightmare of her giving birth, or the alien bursting from herself, and so she finds Newt hiding, and she's able to, over the course of the movie, get her to warm up to her, and even start talking to her, and the protection that she's giving her throughout all of this, and then finally at the end, when Newt is captured, like under the grates, pulled under the water, and they're getting ready to leave, she goes on a mission to get Newt back, like go into the heart of the nest, the alien nest, to get, quote, her kid back, and be able to fight for her, and that motivation I thought was pretty strong to see like how much because it's not like it's her kid, but
Right.
going into that nest with hundreds of aliens and not knowing what else is in
It's
there.
gonna blow up, right? Isn't there
Yeah,
like a countdown?
yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna torch the nest. It's all gonna blow up, and I'm gonna try to get her and get out.
Yeah.
And it's whenever people say like, oh, they don't have any female superheroes or female like action leads, I'm like, no, there definitely
That's
was
the best
that's
one,
the best
probably.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably the best one is right.
But that was for a child that wasn't hers, that she had only known for a few hours.
Yeah.
One could only imagine how she would have been for an actual
Oh yeah, yeah.
daughter
that's
or
huge.
son, you know.
It's awesome. Man, both of you guys are mad at Sarah Connor and Ripley. Those
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have, again, right by me, they would have never been on my radar.
And I think what's cool about those ones though is that they're not, and I'm not making any judgments either way, but they're not like traditional stay-at-home moms.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
they're doing other things, but they have the ability to be this rock in someone's life. You know.
Yeah, they're filling in like the void because if it's all males, what are they missing? There is some heart. There is some connection that she has that they don't have, and that's what kind of brings Newt out because Newt running from them.
Yeah,
like,
that's
he's
right.
hiding from everybody. Like it's not like I need to stay away because I'll die.
Alien or person or whatever, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You guys are all threats.
Right,
Right.
Ripley's able to get through that. The next one I have is from, I forget her name, but the mom from Lost Boys,
Oh,
the vampire movie.
yeah.
She's taking care
Love
of
that movie.
the two boys.
She's kind of a traditional mom, right? If I'm not mistaken. 'Cause
Kind of. She's
trying to
she
picture
still
her.
works. She's working. She's a single parent trying to take care of these two kids.
Because I can picture the end because the one guy's like, oh, he's over for dinner. And it's like, he's the leader of the,
Yeah, well, that was part of it too. Is she is still on the search to strengthen their household? You know, by finding that still dating and trying to find the kids a father figure to, to balance out the house and the
Yeah.
home. And then her sense of humor, her kindness with the kids, and understanding.
Super cool character.
Yeah. So I always thought she was.
Diane Wiest?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know who this is. Okay, yeah.
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 That was another one.
That's
I
a
have.
good one.
The last one I have is the mom from Gremlins.
I don't remember much
I
about
gotta
her.
find her now. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she wasn't a huge part of the movie, but she was supportive of everyone in there. You know, like obviously her son, but also unwavering support of her father or Billy's dad, her husband. So being able to share the love throughout the home and try to and successfully defend herself when needed. So being able to be
Is her the scene with the blender?
yes, yeah. So like being able to fend off people out of the home, protect the home type of thing. Not just protect herself, but
Yeah.
get out of my kitchen. Like this is our place here. So yeah, that was my last one. But I remember feeling safe and protected by a mom like that, I guess.
Yeah. Nice. That's a good one.
Like being able to get rid of the monsters in the house,
Yeah.
And that
She might do it in a weird, odd way, but like, no, it'll work.
shove them in microwaves.
Yeah. They're microwaves in a blender. Yes. Yeah. That's a good one.
And then seeing the example of, she's being attacked next by the fire pit, by the gremlin that was hiding in the tree. And Billy comes home and immediately defends her, which I feel like conjures like feelings of like, you can tell when someone is respected in a setting by how much someone will defend another person,
Okay,
or
yeah.
stick up for someone. And I feel like obviously Billy's gonna have to stick up for her, but it was like immediate, like, oh, I have to go save mom.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like that level of respect shown towards her, I guess, was
It's
was
a
also
good one.
noticeable for me anyway.
I like it.
Okay. Yeah, those I guess for right now that covers all of our favorite moms, and you can see the difference because we did the, our favorite partners in parenthood, I guess, which I had to make sure wasn't a who would you do list. And Tin Man had to scribble out his whole list.
I had to change the movie.
Yeah, oh, now I understand.
Oh man, I got a good one. I just thought of another one. I'm going through my top 50. Okay. Not who would I be with?
You mean Sandra Bullock from The Blind Side? Is that what we're talking about? I'm sorry.
Well, that's a mom though. That's another mom one.
Sure
That'd been a good one. Looper, because her son was the Rainmaker. Oh, what's her name? John Krasinski's.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt.
Emily
That's
Blunt.
Emily
It was
Blunt.
the M something.
Yes, we were close. Yeah, Emily Blunt, because she plays this like single mom on a farm, and
She's so good.
and the drug addict, who's from the current time, is being hunted by the future version of him. He's not being hunted, but he goes back in time to kill a kid who was born at this day and time, and there's 3 different kids, and he goes around killing these kids because in the future he becomes a super villain.
Oh man.
Like he's like a mob leader who has because there's there's a good chunk of people who have this like little mutation where they can thought they were going to turn into like superheroes, but all they could do is like make quarters float. Like everyone has like a little bit of telekinesis, but it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
This kid has this ability to just like destroy people.
Oh.
And it's her son. And so the story is this current version of Bruce Willis. Young Bruce Willis is trying to stop future Bruce Willis from killing this kid.
Oh, I see.
And in doing so saves the kid and then stops him from becoming this super villain in the future.
So how was her? What was like her interaction throughout the movie then?
Was that she was trying to protect and save a kid that wasn't her kid. First off, it wasn't her. It was her sister's kid who was killed by him, by his abilities. And yet she took on that role knowing that this kid has that potential. She even locks herself in like a gun safe at times because his abilities get so out of hand when he gets to whatever. And she lives on a farm by herself, shoots. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays young Bruce Willis in this movie and shoots him when he's trying to like ask for help and she's like, no, you're an addict, I can tell, and shoots him with like rock salt. And he's like living in a barn now. But she takes on the role of being this kid's mom because there's no one else to take care of him. And her dying would have led to him becoming the future like super villain of the future. That enough where that guy went back in time to kill him. So to take on that role, sacrifice herself, her health, her safety to raise this kid who could possibly be a very serious threat and protect him against everyone else.
Man.
And I don't know. It was a good mom moment. Not a real. I mean, it's mom now, you know.
Yeah.
But it was that was a cool one. But I just was going through my top 50. Everyone sees Looper. It's a solid movie.
Okay.
I think I've seen that. I'm positive.
All right, let's get a ding.
All right.
Ding it. No, go. I got the last
Here
one.
we go.
All right, let's go through the evolution of the depiction of mothers in movies. So I guess we should start with old movies then.
So you're talking about the stereotypical nurturing caregiver, homemaker. I think that would probably be the old school stereotypical.
What's the oldest movie I can picture a mom in?
You got the mom in
Night of the Hunter.
Night of the Hunter.
There you go.
Hey, that's a good one. That is like a superhero mom. That's the one who's like, hey, I got a serial killing preacher who's trying to kill these kids.
Oh, that mom at the end.
Yeah.
I thought the abused mom of the guy that gets locked up in the beginning.
Oh, the bank robber.
Yeah, that mom that ends up in the car underwater.
Oh, that is such a crazy scene.
I know.
Like, how did they shoot that? That is so not of that time.
No.
It just looks.
think of like other moms like
I know I just watched this one recently, and I think it might be one of my favorite movies now, but it's called All That Money Can Buy, or it's also known as The Devil versus Daniel Webster.
I feel like
It's a guy makes it's a struggling farmer who makes a deal with the devil to be
Guitar player?
rich, and no, he's a
okay.
farmer.
What am I thinking of?
Crossroads.
That is Crossroads.
It's a song. But he makes this the deal with the devil to be very prosperous and like lucky and
Faust.
yeah.
Faustian.
And you'll see references to this in a lot of stories and movies, where he finds the error of his ways, and the aspiring I should say he's a lawyer. The Daniel Webster is a lawyer, and he chooses to represent our main character in a how do you put it's not a kangaroo court, but it's a jury of the damned.
Oh, okay.
So the devil brings all these characters in, Benedict
Character
Arnold.
witnesses?
So you remember there's a Treehouse of Horror episode of The Simpsons.
Where Flanders is the devil,
Flanders
right?
is the devil,
Yes.
and Homer had the donut. So Flanders brings in the jury of the damned. That's what this movie does.
Oh, okay.
So the devil's got his
Benedict
jury.
Arnold was in that jury. Yeah.
So he has to convince this jury with a crooked judge that this man is worth not selling or not giving his soul to the devil or whatever. So I bring that up because in the beginning he lives with his wife and he lives with his mom. So his mom is, and this movie is from I don't know the 30s maybe.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong on that, but the mom is like, just kind of sticks to herself and. Little comments as she's like cooking dinner or knitting or whatever, like, oh, you ought to know better, or like, she's sitting at her Bible, like reading scripture, like, oh, you shouldn't, you're doing that on Sunday, huh? Like that sort of thing, like kind of, like sticking to herself, and I feel like that seemed to be like the staple of like showing older moms in early movies, right, where she sticks to herself, just supports the home in any way she can, and doesn't really it doesn't ever become like the main character.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Just kind of throws her opinion out there.
Yeah.
Passively throws an opinion out there.
Right. Like,
okay.
But she's right in the end.
she's not,
like whatever she was
wrong.
saying. Yeah. But I also feel like there's a like two general categories where like it's either this like the mom that I just described, or it's someone that is like young and promiscuous or has unfulfillment and is trying to do something more, I think it's Double Indemnity. Also around that time frame where they're scheming, this woman's scheming to have an affair and, con whoever out of money and run off with this guy. So I feel like it's like that type of
Okay.
and it's either like that arena of character, or it's this the mom from All That Money Can Buy that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So it's like the stable homebody, all-knowing, kind of this neutral character in the background of stories.
Okay.
So as we get further into movies, though, say, 70s, 80s, how do you guys think the mother figure is depicted in movies?
So a little more complex, right?
Okay.
You have some single moms. I don't think you see many of those. I don't know, but I don't think you saw many. I think you saw a lot of stereotypical moms in Hollywood before that. But like if you get like 70s, 80s, you got a little bit more realistic versions of little more complex. Single moms, you have working moms. Whereas before you just saw the mom maybe in the home. And now you have reflecting of the times, right? And also reflecting reality a little better too. Just filmmakers were saying moms are more than just this.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I'll bring up, and maybe not 70s and 80s, maybe a little bit before that still, but going back to our Disney motif of movies like Dumbo, Bambi, and I guess even a way like Peter Pan, where it's independence from the husband. And so you kind of mentioned the single motherhood. So I think it's being able to support a home without that father figure, just coming home and pulling up the newspaper and kicking his feet off. It's hustling and living on your own and supporting a kid in the process and always moving and always active, not just in the home but in life, like always doing something. So you kind of see that, until the hunter comes along in Bambi. But like in Dumbo, she's an elephant in a circus, but that's her line of work, is this performer in the circus and being social with everyone involved in it. So it's this character like active in life, active in parenting. And I think in Peter Pan, I kind of saw like Wendy as like the mother figure, like she's the one
Lost Boys.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, they counted on her to like the bedtime story or whatever in the under the tree. But there's no father figure there. It's her doing what she can for this group of boys while also being involved with fighting off Captain Hook and involved with Peter Pan on these adventures. So it's like an active person in the story now, and not just sitting in the background. Yeah,
it's less of an ancillary character, just someone that's making a difference.
Yeah. Do you notice anything else during that time frame?
What's that?
Like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s,
Think
around
back
there.
in how many movies I've seen in that time frame. Yeah, that's good.
I think there's also like this focus of self. Also, you mentioned like working moms, and there's more of a individuality, I think, with these characters in movies, where they have hobbies, they have careers, and when I say focus on self, I don't mean like a selfish, negative way. I mean like they're an actual person. Like they're
they have their own.
They're more than just
and things that they
they're more than just a chef
a
and
cook.
a
Yes, a cook,
cleaner.
a chef.
They're actual people with goals and ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
How about in like I guess we'll say 90s era there.
I mean, the next because I broke mine into like three phases. So 90s would be like a hybrid between where they're more complex, like single moms, and more diverse. You even see in film, you see, for crying out loud, like a mixed race couple, where the mom might be a different color or a different race or ethnicity. Then when you got like closer to the 90s and stuff, you had just more complexity. Like the storytelling, I think, was more true to form, and maybe the times were changing a little bit more, and so there was a lot more different kind of families. So you had more unpredictable moms. They weren't so easy to predict. A little bit more flawed, because that's how life works, turns out. So the film was showing them more flawed. You'd have parents that were not just moms, but dads too. You'd have families that were in trouble from the start. Probably more reflective of reality than just this perfect Ward and June Cleaver. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You had you have like same-sex parents also. You know what I mean? Like, that might be more now, but I was seeing stuff in like the 90s, early 2000s. Not as much, but a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I was saying, like, there's a complexity. There's like a, what is it? I don't know what the words I'm looking for. Like not a paradigm, but like there's a slide scale a hierarchy maybe. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. A spectrum.
Okay.
That's the word I'm looking for. A spectrum of that. So like now, like today, I know we're not talking about that, but if I'm talking about between the 70s, 80s to like the 90s, then it just progressively, some people, old school people would say it just got worse. It just got, well, that kind of tips their hand on the ugly stuff that people accuse Harrison Butker of. You know what I mean? That you're saying that women belong here or not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you're saying it got worse, then yeah, that is your mentality, that you think that's where women should be limited to. That stereotypical old school view, conservative view of it. But film was reflecting the times, and maybe just more realistically and more open-mindedly, and just more, I'd like to think representative of how people viewed women and that are moms. They can do all these things. They can look all these ways. They can behave all these ways.
I think I feel like there was a boom like around the 90s, early 2000s, where it was a lot of stressed marriages, a lot of split parents, or at least struggles between mom and dad, and maybe the kid trying to power through that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a lot of movies.
And I feel like around the 90s, it felt like it was just normal to have that as a dynamic in the movie, in these stories. So like True Lies, I would say, there's a disconnect between mom and dad. Toy Story, there was just the mom, just Andy's mom. I think you can include Incredibles, where there's a disconnect again between mom and dad. Liar, Liar. I know we mentioned that a couple episodes ago. It's divorced parents trying to make it work for the kid. So I feel like around that time it became a pretty usual dynamic to put in your story, is that the parents are split and have to find a way to make it work for the kid, or they need to find their spark again.
Yeah, or how many movies are there where that time where their kids let's get together, like Parent Trap. How do we keep this happening? How do we keep them together?
Let's, that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a good list.
Any other?
Because I feel like prior to that
T2
decade
we just talked about.
Yeah,
is about that.
I feel like prior to that decade, like it was a little more faux pas to talk about that stuff. Like even before that, as I Love Lucy, they didn't even sleep in the same beds.
Right.
I'm like, what married couple has like in the same room? Like, well, you have your bed, I have my bed. Like, that's odd. But like that was where you just didn't put that on TV yet.
Yeah,
that's right. More and more. That's outside the house life, inside the house life. We didn't show that stuff. Now it became more and more to, hey, this is a topic. Maybe we can bring it up and make it interesting.
Yeah.
And that was, because those are all good points.
Miracle
I really
on
like
34th Street also.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought about that's one of the first ones I thought of, with the one with that Dylan McDermott. Is that the one? Was that the actor, or is that Dermot Mulroney? I always get those two confused. There's Dermots in there somewhere. And Mick, anyway, punt.
It's still in McDermott, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yep.
So, moving from the 90s, we'll just lump it all to present day then.
Yeah.
So early 2000s to present day. How do we see mothers depicted in movies?
I think, to me, it's a double-edged sword. And I'm going to get myself in trouble here, but it's a double-edged sword, because they're represented more honestly and truly now, I think, in film than they ever been, which is good. And I'm a fan of it. I'm a friend of it, because women, like men, are complex, wonderful, and horrible creatures. Mothers, like dads, are also, And so with that comes a lot of good filmmaking, because you have these more complex characters. You're not just dealing with stereotypes. Now then, one problem that I have a little bit with Hollywood and filmmaking is it's not against the rules to once in a while put a traditional family on film.
Chauvinist.
I know. It's not.
No, I 100%.
It's
because you were trying to make that point earlier, and I
was,
agree,
and
I
that was
agree with it.
Huge point that sometimes I feel like Hollywood's like, oh, we got to go make this.
You know
now.
what though? I will say that like television shows are better at that. Mm-hmm. The more complex mom, but mom still being a regular being mom, doing her job. I feel like in film, you don't see that as much. Like having a nuclear family is like, I don't know, not.
But what's wrong with them?
Yeah.
You know?
Like there's got to be something crazy or horrible. Like
I mean, I almost think of I love everybody, and if you know, there's enough equity if you know me, listener, that you know that I'm not being nasty here, but it's like you don't have to. That's gonna sound nasty anyway I slice it because
just go for it.
Well, there doesn't have to be this ease in every relationship. There doesn't have to be an outlier of the traditional. Mm-hmm. You don't have to make every movie or feature film have. Well, we got to have this mom or this relationship has to be this way. It's almost like there's a fear of putting it out there because we're not in the times right now. You actually see a lot of reflections and a lot of the message boards criticize. Oh, is this is that supposed to be the woman's place then in the home? Like,
right.
If you think that's the case, but this is a version of a family.
Yeah.
As much as this non-traditional version of a family, it's almost to a point now where all over film now you don't have a traditional family represented many places at all in film. Mm-hmm. You have to pretty much look for the outlier.
It's an
family.
outlier. I wonder if that'll come. Like if that pendulum will swing back eventually.
It seems like it will, right? But who knows?
Right, because it's only kind of gotten more and more.
And I'm a fan of, and I think in our list of moms that we praise tonight, I think it's clear that we celebrate those moms who are non-traditional moms, because most of the moms on our list are non-traditional moms in these traditional roles and families. So those are a lot of our heroes of moms are those things. Yeah. But what's wrong with the mom that's a hero for things that we celebrate?
I feel like we split it half pretty
good. And we did celebrate Elastigirl for being such a rock star at not being a superhero.
This is our next topic though, is if we relate more to movie moms of the past or present.
Perfect.
Okay.
No. We're still talking about.
I like that. Perfect. Boom. Duck season. Bam.
Yeah. I got nothing for this last topic. I already forgot what it was.
It was the evolution. So how moms are currently being depicted.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. Same thing. Like kind of a lack of traditional ideas. I don't know if they want to bring them in to make it.
Almost it's changing up the nuclear family for the sake of changing it up.
Yeah.
Like,
or like, let's make them weird or interesting. I'm like, they can be weird and interesting and still be, and still have like a regular role. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they're going to get backlash from being like, oh, is that where is that what you want? They just need to be barefoot and pregnant doing the dishes,
Right.
So I have down that now that the mom is no longer portrayed as the backbone of a family. I have that the mom can either be someone that is in need of learning, or they may even be the villain. So something like Tangled, where Mother Gothel is the straight-up villain of the story, and she is manipulative, and she's just using Rapunzel's hair for her own, to keep her young and all that. Movies like Brave, where the mom doesn't have enough perspective to let her daughter do things her own way and wants to control, like, it's tradition.
I don't know if I'd call her the villain, though, but there is a conflict.
Like I said, though, it's either villain or it's someone that is in need of teaching or needs to learn a lesson. So Coco, we saw this with Imelda, like not forgiving and controlling Miguel and saying, no, you can't even live unless you promise me you're not going to follow
you can't
your
even
passion.
live. That's right.
Like, so like very like, I feel like opposite of what we saw before, whereas, you know,
So you
in
give
early
these
movies,
women, you give them a little freedom. Give them an inch, they take it a mile. I get it, Corey. I'm on your side.
but you see these characters that
This is being facetious.
so you see these characters
Devil's
that
advocate.
so you see these characters that are no longer your support system in movies now. They're someone that is opposing your protagonist. And then even in Kanto,
I was going to say that
you know,
next.
very similar to Coco, I think, but the grandmother won't accept, can't fathom accepting Bruno back into the family, and is still questioning, what's the main character's name in that one?
Gosh, I forgot this last time.
I've never seen this one.
What?
Yeah.
But she's kind of, well, everyone else has powers.
Yeah.
Where's your power? You got to pull your weight around here, that sort of thing. So those are Disney movies in the 2000s here. So I feel like the mom is no longer like a safe character in a story anymore. It's someone that is in need of change. So a baby girl. That's a quote. I mean, that's a mom that goes through a lot of things in that movie, and a lot of things that need to be addressed and fixed for the betterment of her family, we'll say. And I also have down that kind of leading into this idea that the child no longer needs the lessons. It's the parents that need the lesson. And some of these movies, it's the mom. The homes that are depicted in newer movies seem like they revolve around the child's needs rather than the way that the parents have built the home, if that makes sense. So like if it's like the child governs the parent almost.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You have to parent me a certain way.
Yeah, their needs are priority over the needs of the house. The
Right.
family. Yeah.
It's no longer that the parents govern the home and this is how we raise you. Now this is how you raise me.
Yeah.
So things come up like mental health and diagnoses. But it seems like there's less and less authority that parents have of their own home in newer movies, at least in
No, I agree.
A lot of movies, yeah.
A lot less of this is what we cooked. If you don't like it, you don't eat.
Right.
Kind of.
and more like, oh, he doesn't like peas, so we don't eat peas.
So we
in
don't
this
eat
house.
peas because you don't like peas. Yeah, kind of thing.
Those are my thoughts on how it's kind of evolved, and
I don't think I've ever seen a kid get spanked in any movie recently.
Oh, you probably won't.
I remember a random movie just popped in my head was I think it was called Problem Child. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this one.
I don't think so.
It was very Dennis the Menace-y, 80s, maybe 90s, but I thought it was 80s. And the principal had the kid was always out getting the principal's out to get him. Had a big club, not like a spanking paddle. And I remember being I was in Tuscarora. I was at elementary school when the counselor, the main counselor that we had for 30 years. If you guys remember him, he told us, he goes, it wasn't that long ago. I had a paddle for the kids. This is what we would do. And he walked through who he would hit and how he hit them. I'm like, holy, this was he's like, this was not that long ago. I was like, oh man.
He's like, this one I would turn like this.
I got the old paddle at school.
Yeah, they got rid of it apparently not that long before I got there.
You're old.
Yeah, you're old.
Hey, 50s, 40s, 30s.
Yep.
I'm right there.
That's funny.
Downhill.
50s, 40s, 30s.
His 50s, his 40s, his 30s.
So, do we relate more to moms, movie moms of the past or the present more?
Old guy says past. I just relate more to
Okay.
it because it's my own experience. My mom was anything but traditional, right? She was, single mom. Had 5 kids, married a military guy, who then, had 2 more kids, and adopted another kid when, her youngest chubby boy was 18, adopted another kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, raised all those folks there in this complex household, got everybody to get along okay, and by the way, was a, high school dropout and ended up getting a couple master's degrees and working for state ed.
Yeah.
All these superwoman things that you would celebrate in movies and film, but couldn't be more old-fashioned in what she believed her role as a mom was throughout all of it.
Is there do you feel like there's a movie mom that kind of exemplifies your own mom? Like if your mom was portrayed in a movie, do you know if there's one close to that?
It's going to be a Sally Fields mom. I don't know who it would be. Like an old-fashioned, overbearing,
You're
not afraid to
overbearing.
not afraid to
your
handle
opinion.
discipline herself, because she's earned that respect. She's earned that. She's not going to wait for the dad or the dad to do it. She's going to extol that justice, and then you might have to have dad's justice also, which is nothing compared to mom's justice, But like Mama Bear, you don't mess with her kids, but you can spank them though. If they're being bad, you're gonna get spanked by Wendy, Mary Lou, and me. You're getting spanked by the whole neighborhood. And I'm gonna support it.
That's an old mentality too. Is like
We are collectively raising
somebody
these kids.
hit my kid. What'd they do? Because I'm going to get them too.
I know. That's exactly
Tell
it.
me what happened. Oh,
And
they
now
did
it's
this
like,
and
how
that.
dare you? My
Touch
junior
my
would
kid.
not. My
Yeah.
junior would never do that.
Yeah.
That one Christian comedian. It's like, Chad would never do that. You know what? Chad does that all the time. But no, it's funny you mention that, because I think who would play, what stereotypical role do I relate to? I think of Sally Fields and her over, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do this and this, but I'm going to hold you super accountable for that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Sally Field comes through. I think of her more as Mary Todd, as Abraham Lincoln's wife, as that mom,
From
where she's
Daniel Day-Lewis.
yeah,
film?
where
Okay.
she's about ready to divorce him for letting the next boy go to war. Like, how dare you? She starts losing her mind about it, and I'm thinking, yeah, there's my mom. To a point of, that much. I know I'm right to a point of, and she's so strong. I know I'm right to a point of. But she she says that to Abe. She goes, "Woe unto you, if something happens to him." And I believe that she would have brought holy hell on him. She's screaming, "Well, then just lock me up, then." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh, okay." She's passionate. But what was the purpose? It wasn't for anything selfish. It was for her kids. It was on her kids' behalf.
Yep.
Oh, you guys, man! I'm thinking about that. Like, who do you guys relate to? The old traditional moms of the old past, or the more the moderately?
I don't know. I don't know, because my mom she did things sort of traditionally, but she didn't cook all the time. She'd get mad at us for making messes and cleaned, but I don't know.
Do you have a movie mom that you think of when you?
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind. I tried thinking about it too, but I'm like,
She's quite unique. I've always thought she's very unique.
Yes, because I feel like I enjoy her company way more now than I did when I was younger. We were at odds a lot.
I feel like, I had that too, because I feel like as a kid, that relationship is raise them right, and that's going to mean conflict and tension. But then by the time you're an adult, if they did what their goal was for you to raise you, you should be quite compatible.
It should be like a
person.
Yeah,
you know?
like a at least semi well-adjusted human.
Mm-hmm.
But we were very much at odds for a good chunk of my youth. It's probably not until like our third born that we started
It's
to
super cool though to have that now though.
Because there was few things that we like when we were younger. If she was ever on a swing, that was like we knew that you could talk to her. Because that's like when she was on a swing, she wasn't stressed about work. She wasn't worried about the house. She wasn't trying to get. Because like
that was a tell. That was a tell.
Yes, that was a tell. But both my parents had like vast career changes in the middle of like me between elementary, middle, and high school. My parents went from being one career to another career to another career. Like my dad was like a journeyman roofer for years, and then was just like, going to the police academy. You're 35. You're going to go try it now. And so he up and went to the academy with no income. And my mom went from teaching to retiring early to try to complete the language with Howdy. She was like, we only have so many years left with Howdy. Mm-hmm. We have our last fluent speaker. So I'm going to retire early to try to try to see what I can get for the language. So they went without like a good chunk of income for a while. Mm-hmm. And that was a few like reprieve if she was on a swing. And because we all has swings around the house.
Yeah.
At all times there was a swing in the house, at the house somewhere. And you could sit and talk then. That was a tell where I could sit and just enjoy company. And we weren't at odds. And it wasn't until probably I moved out that I have a more like civil relationship.
It's such grace to be able to have that with your mom now though. It's grace that kept you guys and that got you to where you are. That's such
I'm also
a cool
the
thing.
oldest. I had kids really young. It was tense for many years, and it's only gotten better since. So we'll say that. But that's one that we always have had a similar sense of humor. So I can make jokes. My dad makes jokes, and they have it's oddly enough. We all have very similar movie like preferences. So I'll watch a crazy action movie with silliness in it. They watch the exact same things. It's like, all my movie references, I can give them that, and they're like, "Oh, we watched that one too. That was a good one." Yeah. So it's really odd that they have the exact same taste in movies too.
Man. How are you, Vaz?
So it's tough for me to pin down whether I relate to moms in older movies or more current movies, because I feel like there's been instances, trying to choose my words carefully here, where you feel like as a kid your mom needs to learn something about you that she is not paying attention to. And you see that with movies like Coco and Encanto, where it's like, well, if the mom would only just understand what I'm going through, or let up her stern cover so that she can see, so just support me in this. So I feel like there's instances like that where I could relate to, but then it's the stability of the home from like the older movies where it's no matter what was going on in your day, you could come home and know that there was that presence there, that that was the calming collective energy, So I'm having a tough time pinning down if I were forced to choose, what era of movie mom I would relate to more. I'm having a tough time. I could almost flip a coin, I feel like.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because my mom, my whole life was a nurse and stopped working at the hospital so that she could be home more for us and started working at the clinic, and not realizing at the time, but as you get older, you see, she's giving so much for the people in the nation when she's at work, and then when she's at home, she's giving so much for us as we're here. So it's tough to because that sense of giving of yourself, you might put in like the older movie category, but it's that career where she's working as a nurse. So now you're talking more present day. So I feel like it's this really good combination of everything, really.
Yeah. What movie mom would you?
That was tough to point down or pin down too, because you're trying to incorporate qualities of how they're portrayed today and then how they're portrayed in the past. So I've been going back and forth, and that's a really tough question.
Yeah,
for me,
it sure is,
like.
but it's a good one though. I mean, remember when you asked me that? I'm like, oh, that is cool. I wish I popped more thought into it, you know?
And like, it sounds odd, and hopefully I can explain this right, but I almost want to say Jennifer Lawrence's character in Mother.
Okay.
Because she is, and it's not looking at, because you guys remember we talked about this movie. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the relationship with Javier Bardem's character in the movie. I'm just talking about Jennifer Lawrence's character.
Okay.
So the amount of unconditional sacrifice that she gives for the better good,
Sure,
is, I think, what I'm drawn to most. When I'm trying, if I had to pick one character, that might be it. Or because my mom now with the arthritis and just everything that she worked until she physically couldn't do things anymore, and she still tries to take care of herself. And the home is always being worked on, whether it's outside, trying to get rid of the weeds or making sure the patio's kept nice, or inside making sure the home's clean. Even as tough as it is with the arthritis and hand surgeries and everything. And so when you see Jennifer Lawrence's character in Mother, the end where she's, I still have more to give, and she gives like the crystal heart looking thing. And so it's like there's always more. There's like a unfathomable depth of giving that this character has, from depths that you didn't know existed. They just know how and where to pull these strengths from.
that's good. That's a real good one.
Nice.
And it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have anything to do with her relationship with Javier Bardem's character in that movie. I'm only focused on her character.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I don't want to paint the wrong picture here, but it's that level of sacrifice and dedication to the home that she shows in that movie. That's what I'm drawn to the most.
So
That's
Vaz
cool.
doesn't need to buy a Mother's Day present this year or any year after this. He just sends this part of the episode to Mom and says, boom.
Just puts a voice records it
Yes,
and sends it.
yes,
in a memo
yes.
Or whatever.
That's great. I think that's
That's good.
I got nothing to add. Or that's really good.
Are there any other moms that you think of that relate to your own moms, I guess, movie moms?
I pick
I think that's a cool question to snapshot our appreciation.
Right.
or
Well, I
lack of.
think I like to think of Mrs. Weasley for my mom too, because she's like a community mom. Like all my blockhead friends, they know who they are. The guy, from Eddie, Alec, John, Chris, Husky. All my mom would hide Easter baskets for them, and she would get them Christmas gifts and made sure they had gifts. Make sure they're if they got married, make sure that they had money for a suit, or make sure that their tie was on straight. If they had kids, made sure that they got proper gifts for their kids. Made sure they knew that they knew how to change a diaper. She just wanted to make sure everybody was going to be okay. And one thing about moms is we give ourselves license to misunderstand them as kids. We give ourselves license to that. But there's nothing that makes me angrier on the planet than when the world, I don't care who it is, anybody outside our family misunderstands my mom. Because, we know our moms to be these giving, kind, loving bastions of love and support. And when the world sees them differently, you're like, yeah, you don't have any idea who this woman is or what her motivates her and what drives her, I don't even know where I was going with that. I just know that, when I think about like movie moms, I'm like, it's got to be a movie mom that is unique and quirky, but also a movie mom that is a rock solid. Where you stand with her, and also she's going to be there, hell or high water. There's nothing that's going to separate you from her love.
Certainly sounds like Mrs. Weasley.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think that she was just great. And then when it comes down to that final boss, she's going to kick the ass of that final boss.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be there to watch it. And none of us are going to be surprised at the result. Like, yep, sure, you just beat the biggest, baddest wolf out there. That's what you do. Even at 80-something.
That's a good one. I don't even know what I would attach.
And throw that screaming message out there. Ronald Weasley, going to scream at you in front of anybody and whoop on you in front of anybody at the same time.
Tin Man, you remind me of anger management when they're at the meeting towards the beginning, and because you got your phone asking who would be your movie mom. So I think of them, just tell us who you are.
Yeah.
No, you want him
that's
to
your
tell
job.
you who you are.
That's your job.
I don't want to know
who
what
are
you do.
Yeah.
So I picture you like telling Google, tell me who my mom is in movies.
I'm just going through my top 50.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find some.
Seeing if there's any Freudian slips in there. Or...
Yeah.
I
don't know how it would. I don't know what movie I would attach.
I think of like the Blind Side mom, just pragmatic, very spunky, very youthful, but also very matter of fact. Like, let's get this done. Get off your butt. Let's go.
See that.
In some ways, but your mom's always, in my opinion, always had patience and a huge sense of humor. It's like how she lives with your father. One of my best friends, by the way.
She deals with him is something else.
Well, honestly, it's funny when you're like, took care of the three of us boys. I'm like, so you're not counting John? So you, Jeff, and Jimmy.
The baby boy?
What about John?
Oh, baby boy was all right. Taken care of just fine.
Oh gosh.
Well, Kmax, let's us decide who his movie mom is.
Do it.
You guys both know her, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's got to be a comedy, right?
Well, the humor being so strong, and a movie. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna look at my notes real quick on here because there's got to be.
If you guys can come up with one that I'm like, oh yeah, then I'll co-sign.
Then we know your mom better than you do. It's just going to be 5 minutes of silence, and then we say we don't know.
You're right, James. That isn't a good movie for
Who's the mother of the main character in Almost Famous?
Frances McDormand?
I think so. I think it
remember
is.
as much.
I think it is. But I remember her being strict about drugs, but also supported him unconditionally in his quest to be a rock star, and had some humorous ways in dealing with him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a reach, right? I mean, but I'm just thinking that's a movie I know well, and that's a mom that I've looked up, and I thought,
I know who she is in the movie, but I haven't seen.
She's got her strong morals and principles, but even superseding that, I want to see you succeed in whatever way you're succeeding.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So I'll go with that. I'll go with that, mom.
Nice.
There's not as much humor there, but I think that's a big part of what makes a unique take on her is that, yes, I got these fundamental Christian beliefs that I want you to hold to, that said, whatever it is you do, I love you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna push you best you can go in that direction.
Okay, I think I
Oddly enough, I was texting her this week a little
nice.
bit. Yeah, first time in about 30 years I've talked with her, like besides volleyball and stuff like that.
Okay, here's the best one I got. I'm gonna say Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Ooh.
There's that comedy element there. There's that holding accountability to the point you might butt heads with with a kid.
All right.
Dude, that is
Even though she's not technically the mom.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still she's the nanny. Like
Okay.
coming in.
All right, that's cool.
There's the sense because like your mom was part of like choir for a bit there, I believe. So there's that musical element.
Yeah.
And then the idea that she's a teacher and she's kind of that for the kids in a lot of moments in that movie, teaching them through making it fun, like that she would like in language class or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. She did come up with half the Tuscarora songs that are they're like Shania Twain spoofs.
They got the same haircut too, right? The short wavy hair, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
there
that's
you
a
go.
good one.
There
I
you
think
go.
that's a real good one.
Yeah, nice. Mary Poppins and Frances McDormand and from
Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
There we go. We got our movie moms.
There we go.
Movie
nice.
moms.
Movie moms.
So so this is our chapter on Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully we did it justice. If not, we're not as articulate as we had hoped.
I can't
But
wait.
the love is there.
That love is there. We love our moms.
Love our moms. We love our baby mamas. Or wives.
Whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. My wife's like, don't call me that.
Fans of mothers.
All right. So we are going to watch two movies. So one of them, we've mentioned it throughout the podcast since the first season. So I figure we just, yank the blanket off.
There we go.
The Incredibles.
Yeah, let's go.
Nice. It's in my top 50.
So that one is going to be one of them. And then, I was looking at our list of movies for this season, and I was realizing we were watching a lot of ones that we have seen and trying to watch it with a different lens. So I wanted to kind of get back to watching stuff that we haven't seen before or that may be in need of some deeper analysis, we'll say.
This is where I start trembling.
So the second movie that we're going to watch is a little ditty called Relic. And no, not the one from the 90s or whatever it was.
The horror movie.
Where is that or is that Species I'm thinking of? I think there is a movie called
There's Mimic
Relic.
and Relic.
Okay. Well, either way, Relic I think is 2020.
Oh.
Yeah. But it is a horror movie. I had to sneak a horror movie in.
Yeah, we can't go too long.
I don't think I did I do a horror movie this season? I don't know if I did.
Can't swim too far from the bloody waters of horror movies.
I guess depends on what your tolerance is of horror.
We did see a horror movie.
Sweeney Todd, I guess,
weekend.
might count as that.
Okay.
But yeah, Relic is going to be as more horror than Sweeney Todd was. So up to you guys. Which one do you want to watch first? And then I'll cater the conversation depending on which.
Or your call. I'm down for whatever.
Let's watch Relic first.
Okay.
Okay, and then be able to end with.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that on? If you know if that's if I have
take a
access
look.
to it.
I know I have the Blu-ray.
Seen it.
I think. So according to Mr. Google doesn't know the answer over there.
Amazon Prime Video.
I see Amazon Prime Video.
YouTube TV.
I don't trust those.
Does it say AMC Plus?
Not Netflix.
YouTube Prime Time subscription. Sling TV Premium.
Ooh, I don't know that. Let's try. Let's see if it's actually Amazon or if it's I have to buy it.
And then looks like $4 on Apple TV as well. But I do have the Blu-ray, so you two would be able to watch with me.
Ooh.
And then, so our last episode of this season, of season 2, is going to be The Incredibles. And I'll kind of have a part of the episode will kind of be a little bit of a wrap up of season 2 and what my goal was to kind of support throughout the season. So, any questions, concerns, comments?
I can't wait to hear last week's when I wasn't here.
Oh,
I'm so curious, Rose. So curious.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be a minute to your... Is that one uploaded yet? That one's not uploaded
Not
yet,
uploaded
right?
yet.
Okay.
yeah, you will hear that one soon enough. That's it.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah.
Yep.
Any other jingle witties?
There's been some wonderful feedback of late about different people watching it. I want to shout out to Mr. Hart, who's been setting schedules and getting his stuff together for the school year, and he said he's been enjoying listening to the pod in his classroom as he gets things ready.
Oh,
So
cool.
we love that.
Awesome.
We love to hear that. Doc Tonema jumping into the waters, asking a lot of questions about nothing specific episodes, but asking a lot of questions about which ones he should go to and listen to next. So there's some and it's funny too because I watched The Holdovers with him out in Phoenix. And he would pause it all the time to talk about scene breakdowns all the
really?
time.
Oh,
And
cool.
I didn't want to spill the beans. I'm like, you're doing something that we do on the show. But he was like breaking it down. And then I was like, part of me was like defensively annoyed. Because I'm like, wait a minute. We do this. But it was pretty cool though. Fun discussions about different
Remember,
things.
we never claim to be experts.
No.
on
That's and it's funny
perceiving
because that's the draw. I was talking to our friend Andrew, cutting his hair, and he said for him that's the draw, is that he feels like he's just at a seat, fly on the wall, and he's able to be passive about it.
Yeah.
Then he comes and gets his haircut, and then he's like, I'm not going to be passive. I want to have a discussion about it. I'm like,
yeah.
please do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Please do. So
We're
nice
not
thing-
here to shoot down anyone's
No, and
point
the
of
cool
view.
thing about the shop now is I want it to be like a bastion of our little podcast, because I got to just get off my lazy butt and put up the posters in the shop there, because when people see them, I might put a piece of tape over there saying now on Apple, podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
'Cause
and now on YouTube.
and YouTube.
Yes.
Someone asked me that question today.
Hey.
If it's on YouTube, someone asked me the question in the shop today. If it's on YouTube, I said, "Why? So you won't listen to it on that too?" No, but anyway, guys, keep listening. And I know there's not much activity on there, but please follow us on Instagram. That is Instagram at Depth
Not much
Perception.
activity yet.
That's right. That's right. Depth Perception Movie Podcast on Instagram. Give it a follow.
Nice. I'm looking at it on YouTube right now.
Nice.
There we go. It takes a while to upload them, but I'm getting there slowly but surely.
We're gonna get some pictures, some video clips, things like that on the Insta.
Hello and welcome
Yeah,
to
right from YouTube, man. Right from YouTube.
We
Wait.
discuss movies and
I know that guy.
Did he say smoothies on there? Where we divulge?
We're
We
disgust
discuss smoothies.
by smoothies.